Robotic mowers handle about 90% of lawn maintenance on their own. But here's the thing. Traditional lawn care still beats them when it comes to precision, edge work, and dealing with problems the second they pop up. This isn't really about whether robots can cut grass. They absolutely can. It's about whether you're okay with their limitations in exchange for never having to push a mower again. I'm Marcus Chen, and I help people figure out which smart home tech actually works without turning into a weekend-long troubleshooting project.
Welcome to Smart Home Setup Podcast. Before we go any further, just so you know, everything you're about to hear is researched, written, and verified by real people, but the voice reading it is AI generated. We wanted to be upfront about that from the start. If you've been listening for a while, thank you, seriously. And if you're new here, glad you found us. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, we're getting into robotic mowers versus traditional lawn care, what works, what doesn't, and how to figure out which one fits your yard. Let's get into it.
So let's jump right into what matters. If you're spending 5 to 15 minutes a week on a robotic mower, checking the charge, moving obstacles, that kind of thing, versus 30 to 90 minutes doing the full traditional routine with mowing, trimming, and cleanup, that's a pretty big time difference. Up front, you're looking at $800 to $4,500 for a robotic setup, including installation if you need it. Traditional lawn care? Maybe $150 to $500 for a decent mower and basic tools. That's a significant gap. Now, smart home integration. Most robotic mowers connect through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or cellular. Some work with third-party bridges if you're trying to get them into a Matter setup, but that's not native support. Traditional mowing has zero smart home connectivity on its own, but you can build automations around it if you've got smart irrigation controllers or scheduling systems already in place. Where robotic mowers really fall short is edge work and precision. They range from poor to fair on that front. You'll still need to grab a trimmer for clean edges. Traditional mowing? You're in complete control of every pass, so the results are excellent if you put in the effort. Reliability gets interesting when your yard isn't a simple rectangle. Robotic mowers struggle on slopes steeper than 25 degrees. Narrow passages confuse them. Dense obstacles mean you're constantly rescuing the thing. Traditional mowers handle any terrain you can safely walk on. You are the navigation system, and that's both the limitation and the advantage. Energy-wise, robotic mowers pull 20 to 60 watts during operation. You can track that with a smart plug on the charging dock if you're into energy monitoring. Gas mowers burn through 1 to 2 gallons a month. Electric push mowers use 500 to 1,500 watts per session. The robotic mower sips power compared to traditional approaches, but the upfront cost dwarfs any energy savings for years. Now let's talk about what you can actually do with smart home integration, because this is where expectations and reality don't always match up. Most robotic mowers are standalone Wi-Fi devices with their own apps. They're not natively compatible with Zigbee, Z-Wave, Thread, or Matter. Take something like the Husqvarna Automower 450X EPOS. Check the link below to see the current price. It connects via cellular or Wi-Fi and works with IFTTT for basic automations. So you can set up something like, when the robotic mower finishes its cycle, activate the smart irrigation zone on the north lawn.
But here's the limitation I see all the time. You're working with one-way triggers, not actual two-way communication. You can't pull up the mower's battery state in real time or integrate it into a Home Assistant dashboard without diving into custom API work. People who expect seamless Matter integration, the way they get with smart lights, end up disappointed. Robotic mowers live in a completely different automation tier. Traditional lawn care has zero native smart home connectivity, obviously, but you can build scheduling automations around the task itself. Like this, if your calendar shows a mow lawn event scheduled, disable smart irrigation for 3 hours before that event and send a reminder notification to your phone. This indirect approach works surprisingly well if you already have a solid smart home energy management system. You're automating the ecosystem around the task instead of the task itself. Latency and fallback behavior matter more than you'd think. Robotic mowers with Wi-Fi usually have 1 to 3 seconds of latency when you send a command from the app. Pause, return to dock, change the schedule, whatever. If the mower loses Wi-Fi while it's running, most models just keep going. They finish their programmed schedule using onboard logic. They don't stop in the middle of your lawn and wait for reconnection. The Works Landroid M20V, check the link below for current pricing, will keep running its pattern and return to the dock even if your home network completely crashes. That's reassuring in one sense, but it also means you can't remotely stop it if it's tearing through a flower bed. Traditional mowers give you instant physical control, zero latency, zero fallback concerns. You see a problem, you stop immediately. If you've got kids, pets, or unpredictable yard visitors, that's worth something. Now, let's get into costs over 5 years, because the upfront price is only part of the picture. For a robotic mower, you're starting with $800 to $4,500, depending on lawn size and features. Installation can add another $0 to $1,200 if you need boundary wire trenching, though some newer models use GPS or RTK positioning instead. Annual blade replacement runs $40 to $80. Those blades wear faster than traditional rotary mower blades. Battery replacement every 2 to 4 years is another $100 to $300 depending on the model. Electricity costs about $20 to $50 per mowing season for charging cycles. Add it all up over 5 years, and you're looking at $1,000 to $6,500, assuming nothing major breaks. And I've seen plenty of homeowners spend an extra $200 to $400 on edge trimming tools because the mower doesn't get within 4 to 6 inches of obstacles.
Traditional lawn care starts with $150 to $500 for a decent push or self-propelled mower. Fuel or electricity is $60 to $180 per season for gas models, $15 to $40 for electric. Maintenance is $30 to $60 a year. Blade sharpening, oil changes for gas models, an edge trimmer and basic tools cost $80 to $200 up front with minimal ongoing costs. Then there's your time. 30 to 90 minutes weekly for about 25 to 30 weeks per season. Over 5 years, you're at $500 to $1,500 in direct costs, plus somewhere between 62 and 187 hours of your time. If you value your time at $25 an hour, tack on another $1,550 to $4,675. The math tips toward robotic mowers if you genuinely hate mowing and your yard is compatible. It tips toward traditional if you've got a complex layout with lots of obstacles, steep slopes, or narrow gates that make robotic navigation frustrating. Let's talk about lawn quality and appearance, because I need to be direct here. Robotic mowers produce a different aesthetic than traditional mowing. They cut using small razor blades that clip grass tips frequently, every 1 to 2 days, creating this mulched golf course-like texture. Traditional mowers cut in clean, visible stripes with a defined pass pattern. If you take pride in that striped look, you won't get it from a robot. Robotic mowers excel at consistent height maintenance. You don't get those overgrowth cycles from putting off mowing for a few extra days. The fine clippings decompose quickly, which acts as natural fertilization. Frequent cutting also stresses broadleaf weeds, so you get reduced weed pressure over time. And they're quieter, 60 to 70 decibels compared to 90 to 100 for gas mowers. But robotic mowers struggle with edge trimming along fences, sidewalks, and foundation plantings. They can't handle sticks, pine cones, or debris well. They'll stop or get stuck. They're not great with tall grass after you've been on vacation. Most max out at 3 to 4 inches, so you'll need a manual first cut. And forget about creating intentional mowing patterns or directional aesthetics. Traditional mowing lets you respond in real time. You see a patch of clover taking over, you can spot treat and mow higher next time. You notice uneven growth near a sprinkler head. You adjust your pattern immediately. With a robotic mower, you're relying on scheduled algorithms that don't adapt to localized conditions, unless you manually step in. Now let's get into reliability in complex yards, because this is where I've seen the most buyer's remorse. Robotic mowers are excellent for simple, rectangular, or oval lawns with minimal obstacles. They're frustrating to impossible for yards with steep slopes, narrow passages, dense landscaping, or unpredictable obstacles.
Slopes steeper than 20 to 25 degrees cause problems. Most models lose traction, struggle to climb, or create uneven cut patterns on steep grades. Narrow passages, gates, or pathways narrower than 5 to 6 feet can confuse boundary sensors or cause navigation errors. Dense landscaping like flower beds, decorative rocks, or low-hanging branches require manual intervention to prevent the mower from getting stuck, and unpredictable obstacles like kids' toys, fallen branches, or garden hoses will stop the mower dead. You'll have to rescue it. The Segway Navimo I-Series, check the link below for current pricing, uses RTK GPS for boundary-free navigation, which eliminates the wire installation hassle. But it still can't navigate around a forgotten soccer ball or a dog toy. In my experience, homeowners with young kids or active outdoor pets end up spending 10 to 15 minutes daily moving obstacles before the mower runs. That negates a lot of the time-saving benefit. Maintenance and troubleshooting are ongoing with robotic mowers. Weekly checks mean clearing debris from the blade deck and inspecting wheels for tangled grass. Bi-weekly tasks include wiping sensors and checking boundary wire integrity for wired models. Seasonal maintenance covers deep cleaning, firmware updates, and battery health checks. Traditional mower maintenance is less physically demanding, but it's ongoing and non-negotiable. Miss a sensor cleaning and the mower might wander outside its boundary or miss entire sections of lawn. Traditional mower maintenance is more intensive but less frequent, and you notice problems immediately during use, rather than discovering them 2 days later when half your lawn is uncut. So, who should choose a robotic mower? You're a good candidate if your yard is a 1/4 acre to 1.5 acres with minimal slopes and obstacles. Robotic mowers shine in open, gently rolling lawns where navigation is straightforward. You need to value time savings over cost savings. You're willing to invest $1,500 to $4,000 upfront to reclaim 2 to 3 hours weekly. You should be comfortable with iterative troubleshooting, adjusting boundary settings, tweaking schedules, occasionally rescuing a stuck mower. And ideally, you're already invested in smart yard automation. If you have or plan to add smart irrigation, outdoor lighting, and energy monitoring systems, those benefit from integrated scheduling.
In my experience, the happiest robotic mower owners treat it as a 90% solution. They accept that they'll still need to edge manually, clear obstacles occasionally, and handle special situations with traditional tools. First cut after vacation, overseeding periods, those still need hands-on work. Who should choose traditional lawn care? Stick with traditional mowing if your yard has steep slopes, narrow gates, or dense landscaping. Those conditions create constant navigation failures for robotic mowers. If you take pride in lawn aesthetics, striped patterns, precise edging, the ability to adjust technique based on real-time observations, you want traditional. If you have unpredictable yard traffic from kids, pets, or frequent outdoor projects, obstacles appear daily and require constant pre-mowing cleanup. And if you're budget conscious, a quality self-propelled mower and trimmer will cost under $500 and serve you reliably for 10+ years with basic maintenance. Traditional mowing also makes sense if you're uncertain about long-term commitment. You can always start with traditional tools and migrate to robotic later once you've tested the waters with smart irrigation scheduling or other automation experiments. Now let's hit some frequently asked questions. Can robotic mowers handle wet grass or rain? Most modern robotic mowers are rated for operation in light rain, IP54 to IP67 weatherproofing, but they shouldn't mow during heavy downpours or on saturated soil. Wet grass clippings clog blade assemblies more quickly, and traction suffers on slippery slopes. Many models include rain sensors that automatically return the mower to the dock when precipitation starts, then resume the schedule once conditions dry. Traditional mowing in wet conditions is similarly problematic. You'll get clumping, rutting, and uneven cuts regardless of approach.
Do robotic mowers work with Matter or other smart home protocols? As of 2026, no major robotic mower manufacturer offers native Matter, Zigbee, Z-Wave, or Thread compatibility. Most operate as standalone Wi-Fi devices with proprietary cloud integrations. You can achieve limited smart home interaction by using IFTTT webhooks or custom home assistant integrations, but expect significant setup complexity and ongoing maintenance. For true integrated autonomous yard equipment, you'll need to wait for broader Matter adoption or invest in professional custom integration services, which typically cost $300 to $800 for initial setup.
How long does a robotic mower battery last before replacement? Lithium-ion batteries in robotic mowers typically deliver 2 to 4 years of reliable service, approximately 500 to 800 charge cycles, before capacity degrades noticeably. You'll start seeing shorter runtime per charge and longer charging periods as the battery ages. Replacement costs range from $100 to $300, depending on model and capacity. Traditional electric mowers with removable batteries follow similar lifespans, while gas mowers avoid battery concerns entirely but introduce carburetor maintenance and fuel stability issues. Bottom line, the robotic mower versus traditional lawn care decision hinges on your yard's complexity and your willingness to trade precision for automation. Robotic mowers work brilliantly in simple, obstacle-free lawns, where you value time savings and consistent maintenance over aesthetic control. They're frustrating in complex yards, with steep slopes, narrow passages, or unpredictable obstacles. Traditional mowing offers instant adaptability, superior edge work, and zero connectivity hassles, but it demands 30 to 90 minutes of your time weekly. I've installed smart home systems in homes with both approaches, and the pattern is clear. Homeowners who succeed with robotic mowers treat them as a maintenance baseline, not a complete replacement. They still edge manually, they still intervene for special situations, and they've made peace with good enough rather than perfect. If that sounds like an acceptable compromise, a robotic mower is worth exploring. If not, there's zero shame in sticking with the traditional approach that's worked for decades. Sometimes the old way is still the right way.
That wraps up this episode of Smart Home Setup Podcast. We've got new episodes coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so there's always something new to dig into. If you found this one useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a 5-star rating and write a quick review. It genuinely helps other people discover the show when they're searching for this kind of info. And if you haven't subscribed or followed yet, go ahead and do that so you get a notification the moment a new episode drops. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.